Hello viewers, welcome to this third and last part of the film Time Management. In the first part of the film, we showed you the concept, the myths and the importance of time management and the allocation of time for different managerial functions. The second part of the film highlighted the use of a time log for effectively planning time for different managerial functions. Besides, the major kinds of time wasters were identified and the ways in which these can be tackled were outlined. The present film will highlight the principles of effective time management. Let's watch the film.
Now coming to the principles of time management, which is the final phase here in this session. Time management principles which can lead to better effective time management. These are the principles. Principles are truths or doctrine or fundamental laws as such which have been accepted over the time period. Some of the principles of management have also taken into consideration, but some of the principles of management have not been taken into consideration. Like one is Peter principle. Professor Peter says that man rises to the highest level of incompetence in the organization. As man keeps on going up, competence level decreases, and he rises to the top, and that way all the organizations are filled at the top positions with the incompetent people. This is what the Peter principle. Professor Peter says that man rises to the highest level of incompetence, and that way all the tops of the organizations are filled by people who are incompetent people. But this is not true as such. This seems absurd as such, because people who are at the top, they have their own experience. They keep on just qualifying new training courses or taking up development and training courses from time to time. And this seems absurd, or this is proved as absurd, because when we see people declining promotions, they refuse promotions, or some people joining new jobs in other organizations, they leave the jobs but join a better job, they get better remuneration there, so responsibility is more there. So that way people who get promoted, they are not going to lose the competence, but competence increases with the hierarchical levels that we have to accept. This is, sometimes it may be obvious, but generally it is absurd as such. Peter principle doesn't hold good. There may be certain other principles like Murphy laws. Murphy laws, one 6th century king, Irish king, he gave some laws, some profundities which he used to apply, and he based those laws into 3 laws. First Murphy law is, if things are not that simple as they seem, as they look. Things otherwise look simpler, but they are not simple as they look. Second law is, if something can go wrong, that will. Something can go wrong, that will, in the due course. And the third one is that things require more time than what it seems. No? Things may be looking simpler, but they may be needing more time. they take more time than the scheduled time. Activities take more time than the scheduled time. So these are Murphy's law. Then Pareto principles, like managers devote time inversely proportional to the importance of the tasks. Managers have the tendency to devote inversely proportional time to the tasks which are not that important in with regard to the importance of the activities. That is Pareto principle. So such like principles have been covered under the management principles. So management, most of the management principles have been taken into these principles. That's why its list is very exhaustive. 40 principles have been listed. So this seems very exhaustive list as such. Some of them may not be holding that good as such, but they have put it, and let us see, have a glance of these. Some of them may be very important, others may not be that may not be holding that true as such. Number one is equal distribution. First principle is equal distribution. It is very obvious that time is running at a fixed speed, fixed rate, and hence time is also equally distributed, and nobody can decide to have more time or spend time not in consonance with its own speed. So it will go on passing with its own speed. So equal distribution of time is there. People keep on saying it that we don't have enough time, but everybody is having all it is there. Faulty perception, people generally think, managers particularly, they think that their time is going to the activities for which they have scheduled. Actually, the time is going somewhere else. Time is not going where it should go. So this is a faulty perception. For rectifying this, they have to take time log, etc. Time analysis, again, time analysis is another principle which can improve upon the time management with the help of time log and its analysis. Taking up time log once in a quarter of a year will be a better thing for time analysis of the person. Then anticipation. It is better to remedy the, it is better to prevent the things than to go for remedial actions. Or it is said, one stitch in time can save 9. If you are able to anticipate what is going to happen as a consequence of your action, you will be able to manage the time better. Then next is planning. Planning is principle of management. That is, it is said that 1 hour devoted in planning can save 3 to 4 hours in implementation. So planning is something very important. Then daily planning. So not only long range planning or medium range planning, but daily planning is required to be there. Objectives. You have to have very clear objectives, set objectives, and working in the direction of those objectives. Then priority, as I told you in the time log also, you are to prioritize your all activities so that you can achieve better results. Next is deadlines. You are to set deadlines for achieving certain functions. Then concentration, you concentrate on certain activities, complete them, and then go to the other activities. Then effectiveness versus efficiency, as Peter F. Drucker has said that efficiency is something which doing a job right, but it may be doing right job right is the effectiveness. Activity versus result, generally we have the tendency to get involved in the activity, what we forget in the results in the meantime. 13 is optimum results, that is optimum utilization of the resources so that we can get the optimum results. Realistic time estimates are required to be there in our activities. Probability of occurrence. Probability of occurrence can improve upon if we plan the activities in a systematic manner. So, probability of occurrence will be in our favor. Tyranny of urgency. We get involved in firefighting or crisis because we think that this urgency is tyrant on us. Crisis management over response. So, we again involve ourselves in the firefighting sort of things or over respond to certain things which otherwise is not needed, which have to, if we plan it properly, we can reduce that over response. Selective neglect and limited response. Sometimes it happens that we under response to the things, and it is also said that by calculated neglect of certain problems, if the problems are left alone, they can, some problems if left alone can get solved themselves. So, that is the principle of calculated neglect. Flexibility is ought to be there in your goals and objective setting priorities. Problem analysis is the another thing. If the problem is better identified, defined and analyzed, that will give you better performance. Further, so this is another consequential list. 21 is alternatives. That is, we have a tendency generally to have limited number of alternatives, and out of that we pick up the decision. But there should be number of alternatives first worked out, and out of that the best should be selected. So, number of alternatives will increase the quality of decision. Indecision, some people avoid commitment to make decisions and lead to indecisions, but it is not a good sign. It can be improved upon by proper planning and organizing ourselves and our time. Procrastination is another thing, that is, we keep on delaying, postponing or put off the decisions, or sometimes that doesn't improve upon the decision level. 24th is completed staff work. Completed staff work means we take our employees as overworked and we keep on listening to their complaints, but we should keep on delegating them, because if we keep on delegating, then we make the total organization effective rather than taking most of the tasks to ourselves. Then delegation and decision level. So, you delegate certain things which are of routine nature, which can be handled at lower level. You should believe in the exception management or management by exception. 27th is routine and detail. We are involving ourselves in greater details or routine in general life, but we should put ourselves to critical and key issues rather than involving ourselves in routine. Consolidation, clubbing of certain activities together so that we require lesser time for solving them. Feedback, for any function to be controlled properly, you have to have a feedback, lot of information coming from that, from the implementation of that, so that the next time when we do, we manage it better. Next is exception management, which I already explained you, that only important activities you should concentrate on and routine activities can be delegated. Interruption control, you have to organize your secretary or secretariat in such a way that they keep on scanning your activities. and they don't allow the telephones or drop-in visitors to disturb you. Then planned unavailability means you make yourself unavailable to some people for some point of time during the day. That is one quiet hour you keep for yourself, for reorganizing yourself. For that you require some silent hour as such. 1 hour at least is to be saved out of the total busy schedule. Visibility, certain things which you want to do should be kept visible, like desk calendars or wall planner as such will make you better organized as such, because the things which you cannot remember you cannot do. So things should be visible. Clarity of the objectives or any other activity which you want to do, that should be very clear, that should be made clear to the people down below also, so that they can have better understanding. Brevity, a common and simple language should be used so that everybody can understand what we are saying. Habit, generally people are having certain habits which may be bad habits as such. That is, they may be doing certain things which the organization has been doing. They joined the organization has been doing the things in a certain way, they also started doing the same way, and that became a habit as such. So such like habits, though the habits are very difficult to leave as such, habits die hard, but still you have to work for it and reorganize yourself so that you become a better time manager. Work expansion, this is Parkinson law. That is, this work expands so as to fill up the time available. Work expands to fill up the time available is the Parkinson law. So work is expanding, like you see the armed forces or military of French and Britishers. They recruited some people during the war time, Second World War, but those people were to be maintained again and they are to be retained, and a lot of expenditure increased. Work is still there with all the people. They never just dropped any of the people thereafter. So they are maintaining the same people. Next is implementation and follow-up. When you implement, you follow that up. A plan is chalked out, you implement that, execute that, and follow that up, monitor that. Only then you become a better performer, better time manager. 39th is acceptance. We should have the courage to accept those things which we can change, and accept those things which we can't change, and we should get the wisdom, or God should give us the wisdom that we know the difference between what we can change and what we can't change. That should be accepted, and the difference between the two. Then managerial imperativeness. Time is something very important as such, and this is managerial imperative. Managers should organize themselves in such a way that they become better managers. Time managers as well as better managers. They can become better managers only when they learn managing their time. So these are a few things which I wanted to tell you, share with you. So in all, let us summarize it. In all, what we covered so far, 5 things we covered. Meaning of time and myths of time was the first. That certain untrue things are there which are associated with time, and people have associated different meanings to time, but still the time is a critical resource that we have to accept. Second is allocating time to management. certain managerial function like planning, organizing, directing, staffing, and controlling need to be given appropriate time slots, and that time slots may be varying as the time hierarchical levels of management will be varying. Third, we discussed about the taking of the time log, in which we have a specified performer, prescribed performer for that, which can be used, and with the help of that we can improve upon the time management. Fourth is identifying your time wasters. Certain time wasters are there which are taking major toll of our time. Now we listed 15 of them in the groups of 3 each. There is a red thread running along all the 15, and if one is there, then that may lead to the others. So you have to identify and giving them what are the causes. It should not happen that there was a lot of water in the basement, and husband went to the basement. He saw that this water spreading on the basement. He asked the lady or wife that you send some mops. So lady called back again that you better close the tap first. So it is sometimes we are associating with the symptoms rather than the causes. So it is better to identify the causes of the time wasters, and that will help us solving the time problems due to time wasters. Fifth is the principles of time management, and in which I gave you a list, a rather very exhaustive list of principles, out of which some are very good principles, whereas others may be applicable to a lesser extent. So if you do all these things, perhaps we can become better time managers.
Viewers, in this film on time management, we have touched upon the different strategies which can be employed for effectively managing time. We hope that this film will be of great use to executives working in different organizations. Besides, it can also be used as supplementary material for training programs for executives in industry and different institutions. Thank you.